We'll always be in the books business. We wanted to engage the community in a meaningful way that maybe hadn't been happening in some time. We want to be able to provide those resources to people that they wouldn't be able to find other places in the community.
Powered Libraries highlights the forward-thinking innovation happening in 7 unique libraries. From a private tribal library striving to retain a dying language.
They say something like every 2 minutes a language is lost, you know, and it's scary to think that, you know, and we were pretty much on the brink of having the language fall asleep again.
To an out-of-this-world informational outpost perched high in the Davis Mountains.
Former director I worked for, he had a saying that said, if you want to feel very small, just study astronomy.
Meet the members of a tiny community with big hearts at Texas's second smallest public library, measuring at only 720 square feet.
The librarians are my neighbors, so they, you know, I think they're invested in whatever I'm interested in.
And climb aboard a book bus that measures success in smiles per gallon.
I love books because I like fairies and I like rainbows and it has a rainbow in it.
Powered Libraries shines a light on the future-ready leaders who have successfully implemented public-facing practices to enrich, engage, and empower the diverse members of their communities.
It's made me grow as a librarian to be able to know that I'm fulfilling my responsibility of providing this knowledge to our public.
It almost feels like home wherever I am, whether I'm in Texas or I'm in New York or I'm in California. The library, and especially small libraries, are home.
My name is Shannon Pierce. I am the Acquisitions Librarian for Austin ISD and one of the founding members of our Buford the Book Bus program. The Buford the Book Bus program started 3 summers ago. It was the brainchild of our library director, Elizabeth Polk, and her idea was to get kids books in the summer, because we all know that when our students don't read over the summer, they drop in their reading levels. But the research shows that reading just 5 books over the summer can let them maintain or even increase their reading levels.
I wish every school that had a book bus. There's a lot of different books. I love books. I got fairy books and a book about dogs because I like fairies and I like rainbows and it has a rainbow in it.
Hi, I'm Stella Bromley. I am a librarian for the Professional Library of Austin ISD Library Media Center. I'm also the co-manager for the summer program, Buford the Book Bus. When the kids walk down the front walkway and they're smiling, they're excited, and you start talking to them and they're telling you about what they want to read, and you can actually hand them the book, it's I don't know, there's no replacement for that. It's, you know, why librarians do what they do.
Me llamo Marion Rocco y trabajo como una bibliotecaria bilingüe para el distrito escolar aquí en Austin. Para mí es muy importante venir y participar en estas visitas de Buford para hacer esa conexión y ayudar a nuestros estudiantes hispanohablantes y mostrarles que tenemos libros en inglés y también en español y pueden leer en cualquier idioma que les dé la gana.
I empower librarians by helping to lead the fight against the summer slide. If you'll excuse me, I've got a bus to drive.
I'm Wanda Green, and I am the Assistant Director here at the Tom Green County Library System. There is literally something for everybody at STEAM Central.
My name's Janet Moran. I'm a long-arm quilter. I absolutely love STEAM Central. This is a huge playground for me. It makes my life easier. I get to play, and I think it's wonderful that we have this available to us now.
I'm Clinton Hudson. I'm the maker in residence here at the Tom Green County Library. It really takes kind of the whole concept of the maker space to a new level. So we have this beautiful library above us. We have 2 floors of books above us, they can actually go upstairs, pick out a how-to book, come down here to the makerspace and actually do it. So they take that learning that they get from these books and they can actually make it hands-on.
It's really fun, and there's like robots. It teaches me different things, gives me different ideas and stuff like that at school.
This is my favorite place in town to go. Well, that is my roller coaster. I've been building it for about a month now, and it's been really hard to do. It's been a team effort, not just by myself, so that's what counts.
Out here in San Angelo, we're in the middle of nowhere, so partnerships are incredibly important for us.
My name is Janice Trees, and I am the San Angelo coordinator for the Texas Alliance for Minorities in Engineering. We need more scientists, we need more concerned citizens, and the library really helps us do it. It connects the students to their community, and it also gives them the skills and the learning that they need to become productive members of the community.
I think libraries have to expand what their capabilities are and how they serve the community, and I think this is a classic example of how that can occur.
I empower the visitors of STEAM Central by opening up the makerspace for making, for creating, for allowing them to discover something about themselves that they didn't know before. Because it's made me grow as a librarian to be able to know that I'm fulfilling my responsibility of providing this knowledge to our public.
I am John Truschetti, better known as Mr. T in the library world. I am the director of the Midland County Public Libraries. We're always going to be in the books business, but we have to figure out a way to engage the community and empower our citizens to find a job, to learn a second language, or learn to read a first language. Try to do a lot of technology. We want to be able to provide those resources to people that they wouldn't be able to find other places in the community. Technology is great, but we do have to find a time to unplug.
I got the idea of a coloring class because coloring's like riding a bicycle. If you've ever colored, well, you can color the rest of your life. And there's really no right way or wrong way to color. It's a great stress reliever. It's a chance for us to get together and visit, so you have the social aspect of it. You know, we all get so into our tablets and computers that we forget there's real humans out there. So it gives us a way to disconnect and still hang out with people and have fun.
Yo vine como un respaldo para mí por mi enfermedad y me la he pasado muy a gusto. A pesar de que no hablo inglés, pues me he sentido como muy cobijada por ellas. Tengo poco y espero tener mucho más tiempo para seguir acompañándolas. Es un gran grupo.
If we can meet together and do something we kind of like and everybody be happy, well, we've accomplished our purpose.
You have a preconceived notion about what a public library is when I say the word, and it doesn't look anything like the Centennial Library. For very few people does it. And so it's important for us to engage in a meaningful way and empower our patrons and our citizens because it's their library.
I'm Craig Nance. I'm the superintendent of McDonald Observatory, and we're here in the library of the Otto Struve telescope. Former director I worked for, he had a saying that said, if you want to feel very small, to study astronomy. You know, to do astronomy, you need authentically dark skies. When William Johnson McDonald died and he left his fortune to build the observatory here, the first director, Otto Struve, he made this very visionary decision to build the observatory here, and that has benefited us to this day. So researchers quite commonly will come out here from Austin or other partner universities, make their observations using the telescopes, make use of some of the journals that are here. Also in the electronic age, so we have Wi-Fi here that they can also pull journals off electronically. If somebody needs a journal that we don't have because of our small size, they can get in touch with university resources. We can have something delivered out here. A lot of atlases over here, big, giant, large format atlases. We've got some scientific journals that are from the late 1800s. All the way till we get scientific journals, you know, that arrive here and mailers that we put on the shelves to this day. So we're small, but we try to be responsive to a variety of different stakeholder users of this area. Very recently we received a book. It tells the story of them building the telescope. And when we received it, we opened it up, and inside were all of the signatures of who's who of the late 1930s astronomy. And for us it was very exciting to see all of those names signed in this artifact that is of McDonald Observatory. The thought of, I'm looking through an eyepiece, aha, a discovery. You know, that's not how that works exactly. The enjoyment I get is to hear their conclusions that they reach later. And I'll think back to when they were out here, you know, and I go, oh yeah, I remember that.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Holtz, and I'm the Library Director at the Marathon Public Library. We have a 723 square foot library in a town of 430 people. Since we're such a small library, we're able to really custom tailor what we do for the people who walk in the door.
I think the Marathon Library is amazing because it's just small enough. The librarians here are very open. I had a question about potty training books, and you know, the librarian said, you know what, we don't have any, but let's order some books on potty training.
In a town like Marathon, it's not like there's a lot of things for the children to do just in town. And so the library has become kind of the community hub for those things, especially with the kids. And I'm proud to be a part of that, to see that this library is far more than just books and videos.
Sometimes you can do experiments like the one that we just did. And we're always reading books or playing with Legos and having fun.
I think the fact that we're a tiny library, we can operate in a really lean way. We're a nonprofit, and so when somebody has an idea or a passion or something they're interested in doing, we can just kind of make that happen.
The librarians are my neighbors, so they, you know, I think they're invested in whatever I'm interested in. That's important to me, and that's why I think you should visit the Marathon Public Library. Everyone's cool.
I think what's really exciting and what kind of gives me a charge about doing this is seeing people be able to connect with others and things that they're really excited about, that the library can be the launching point for them, that they can start there and then we can empower them and give them the tools and the resources they need to move in a direction that they're really excited about, and then they become independent in that process, or they become, you know, they're able to kind of take that and run. That's what I love to see.
I'm Claudia Rivers, and I'm the head of the Special Collections Department at the University of Texas at El Paso Library. Our collection development policy is really geographically oriented, and because of our location here, we have a lot of collections that have cross-border content, materials about immigration, materials about the population here, which, although it's majority Mexican American, it is really ethnically diverse. So we try to document all of those segments of the El Paso community.
I'm Abby Weiser. I'm the Assistant Head of Special Collections here at the UTEP Library. Every week, the El Paso Times has published a photograph from our Casa Sola studio photograph collection, and that collection contains over 50,000 unidentified negatives. The collaboration with the El Paso Times has allowed us to help identify many of these photographs, and it's also been a source of pride for many of the families and friends of the people who appear in the paper. So that's been a really positive thing as an outreach activity for us, but also making the collection more usable, so it has more research potential.
And we've been selectively adding images from our photo collections to our webpage through a utility called Content DM. There are a lot of ways that the materials we have can be used, and often you don't really imagine the uses that they're put to until you get the right question. Finding primary source materials in our library empowers their research, and I love it when people get excited about what they find in the archives.
The Tribal Empowerment Library is housed within the Tribal Empowerment Department. So we try to implement and bring in services that we know our community needs to be successful either in school or in their career. You know, we want to provide the equity to all tribal members here in the community. So that way we can keep our culture live and rich, and we want them to grow up with these traditions.
The library has impacted a huge part of my life, and it had made me realize how important it is to accept who I am and be proud of it as well. We do a lot of activities here that have to do with our Native American ways. It is very important to me.
The single most empowering aspect is the teaching of the language to our youth. Today I'm going to read a book. All right, it's in Tigua. It's in your native language. It exposes them to the worldviews of their ancestors that is only passed on through language. Te'e yanthu turkumku pahupehimai. Grandfather, is today a good day for us to make bread? We host a series of language classes at the Cultural Center.
How do we see belt?
Nak.
Nakwe.
So what do the boys use again?
Wajes.
Wajes. What do the girls use to dance?
Moccasins.
So with the younger kids, we just try to speak to them, get them to hear the sounds. Mino mam kima eh. Hot tishuru. Kaive. Good. They say something like every 2 minutes a language is lost, you know, and it's scary to think that, you know, and we were pretty much on the brink of having the language fall asleep again. So we figure if we teach the young kids not only just the word, but the spiritual significance of the word, then it'll bring power back to the language.
Okay, so what we have right here is the Taikitiwa reference section. We also have the Taikitiwa dictionary. These are available for the tribal members to check out and start practicing the Tigua language. Besides the books that we have for checkout, the media, the computers for them to check out, we do the cultural portion. We have them do the social dances. So the students that put on the performance out there for social dances are the same students participating at the local schools doing social dances for Tigua Day at their schools.
Coming here to our tribal library, it's one of our greatest assets, being within the boundaries of the reservation. You know, as you hear the drum beating, that's the heartbeat of our people. Our youth are the continuing legacy of our people. We bring both worlds and bring them both together, and that's what empowers our youth to really strive forward and keep going with our culture and traditions that keeps them moving forward.
These powered libraries support learning, research, business and entrepreneurship, innovation, workforce development, community inclusion, and much more. Texas libraries provide a forum and means for people to come together, learn, and tackle today's most difficult social questions, while continuing their work promoting the essential needs of literacy and lifelong learning. Libraries are so much more than books. They are places that inspire new ideas and foster both human connection and access to new technology. In this constantly changing information environment, libraries are more vital today than ever before. Power up at your library.
So this is Venus. Yeah, it spins a little better slower.
That's awesome.
And every soccer player around, the basketball player is going, is that all you can do? It's like, yeah, that's all I can do.
I like my library because the librarian reads all the books, and sometimes she turns off the lights when we watch a movie about when she talks about people that died. my sister, she lives with me, but she's a dog.
You're pretty funny, you know that?
Yeah.